Zoe just made a prediction that Josh McDaniels will be the team's offensive coordinator by this time next week. Yeah? Think so?
I know nothing. And it's not a report. I'm just reading everything. Like looking at everything and looking where guys are going. And with Bill being removed from having a job, puts Josh majorly back in play here. Because I think out of due respect, he would go straight with Bill. Wherever Bill was going to go, Josh is going to be his offensive coordinator. But now with Bill not having a gig, and it doesn't look like Bill's going to get a gig. He may be doing TV. Now Josh is sitting there, and football coaches like to coach. You like coaching. How many we done? 10, 12 interviews, Phil? They brought guys in, whether through Zoom, whether through meetings. Nick Caley's coming back for an in-person, and he's been here for a long time under the old offense. He was under McVay for one year as tight ends coach. Which offense do you think is most instilled within his head? I would go the old Patriot offense. I don't think he knows how to run the West Coast offense yet. Just being with McVay for 1 year. So it's just like kind of like process of elimination. And look at the situation you're in. You got a former player that you never went through the interview process, that was just elevated to head coach, that has never been a head coach, has never led that group, never had the title of DC, even though he was calling the plays. They're trying to give him as much help as he can. You got a senior assistant to the head coach. You have a collaboration of whoever from the front office coming together to work in hand with him. Steve Belichick has offered a job back. You know, DeMarcus Covington, he's staying. Brian Belichick's probably going to stay. I bet Mike Pellegrino's staying. Troy Brown's coaching. He's coaching the Senior Bowl. They went down today. He's staying. Bring Nick Caley back. He's staying. It's like everybody is gone except Bill. And if you're Gerard Mayo, you probably know the guy we talked about the first part of the show, Mac Jones, probably isn't going to be our quarterback because we played against it. We practiced against it. I have internal knowledge on it. He's not going to be my guy. But I really don't know offense. I do know defense, and our defense is going to be badass, and I'm going to help focus on that. So you bring in a guy that has experience coaching offense, that has experience calling plays, that has experience when players get hurt. How do I substitute it in? How do I flip it and be different? And Josh has that over all these guys. It's almost a smart hire. Because I'm not saying he's coming back to fix Mac. I don't think Mac can be fixed here. I think you're getting to the point now. I mean, it's Senior Bowl week. They're all down there acquiring knowledge. We're going to Super Bowl next week. That's going to be done by, February 9th or 11th? Then you're into the combine. You need a coordinator. You need some direction on offense. You're going to have players coming back into the building saying, well, who's the coach? Well, what do we do? Do we go run those routes we ran last year, or what are we calling them? Yeah, what's the passing tree number? Are we numbering it? Are we calling it? You're starting from ground zero. So you need a builder of offense to come in and fix that. And Josh is the best candidate that's left. That's why I said that. He'll be your offensive coordinator.
Here's why this is complicated. Because while on the one hand, you're right, they could use some experience on the coaching staff somewhere, right? Somebody with some head coaching experience, someone with a lot of years in the league who can help this young group
on your worst unit, offense.
100% true. Experience would be helpful. Do you want the offense to be the old Patriots offense? I think that is a very valid question because I think it's something that has been proven to be very difficult for young players, especially quarterbacks that are new to that system.
The Ron Airhart offense, I would say no, Phil.
To pick up.
Yeah.
So you're going to bring in Josh McDaniels, but you don't really want the Josh McDaniels offense. And it's been clear based on the interviews that they've conducted, a lot of Sean McVay assistants, a lot of Kyle Shanahan and Shanahan adjacent assistants. They want to go to that scheme. Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like. So are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of experience for the new system, or do you say it's so vital for us to have someone who has seen it all? That's so important to us that we're willing to accept an offense that we don't love, especially for young players. That would be the conversation. And if it were me, I would lean towards just making that break.
I know he was
and going to the new offense and starting fresh,
You
even
gotta
though
do it.
those guys don't have the experience that you're talking about.
Then get on it and let's go. Like, I know he wanted Richardson to go to the Colts, but he got overruled. But he went to the Colts. He wanted him to go to the Raiders, and he wanted to build young that way. He was intrigued by Lamar, wanted Baker Mayfield. Did draft Tim Tebow. That's the bad one. So there are goods and there are bad ones there when you talk about evaluating the quarterback position. But he's done it for a long time, and I'm sure he can adapt if you want to scrap it and say, hey, we want to be more creative. We want to be as structured as the old one. Can you do that? And can he sell them on that? That's how he gets the gig, if he can.
That's what I wonder. I wonder if we're, in
like, I
some
don't wanna
ways,
run
not
it too.
being fair
Yeah.
to Josh McDaniels in that.
Because only Tom could run it. Jimmy couldn't run it. I mean,
Do you think he has the ability to coach essentially a different offense? Now, it wouldn't be the West Coast language, right?
Correct.
But he knows how to run outside zone.
It's
They've
same
run
schemes. I
outside
mean, it's
zone
the
here. They've
same-
run inside zone here.
I've seen football players tweet this over the weekend. Like, you still do understand putting a guy in motion gets the jam off. Like, that's been going on in football forever. Just because McVay does it doesn't mean it's new. We've been doing it for centuries.
But they do it a lot.
You could stack it, right? We could do flood. You could do trips all day. You don't have to do even 2 and 2 balanced. We could do tight formation. Yeah, you could be creative.
It's just how it all fits together. That hasn't been what he's done. And it hasn't been what Kaylee's done until this past year. So it's a semester abroad for Kaylee.
You better
Can
know.
he all of a sudden,
then
is he
you better
fluent in
know
that
these
language
guys,
now?
yeah.
I don't know.
Then you better know these guys that have no experience that you're bringing in are going to be in way over their head, and they better know how to fix it.
But you are seeing, I know we got to go here, but you are seeing, I will say, in the defense of the young guys, what is it? Why can't I think of his first name? Ben Johnson. Almost called him Dan Johnson. Ben Johnson never called plays before he got to Detroit. It's gone pretty well. He's about to be a head coach. Bobby Slowick never called plays before this year. Gone really well. He's already getting head coaching interviews. 1 year as an offensive coordinator, never called plays before he got to Houston. Didn't even lead a room. He was the quote-unquote pass game coordinator. He didn't even coach a position. So we've seen young guys first time do it well right away. That's what you have to hope you can hit on if you end up bringing in one of these first-time
And
guys.
I got one more thing real quick here to add because I know that you also factored this in because they've talked about it. They talked about it at the press conference. They like having their people within. They like hiring from within and growing their businesses and growing their football team. Ownership does like Josh McDaniels. That's another benefit to Josh. So been here, done
Definitely.
it. Yeah.
Definitely. The relationship there
Excellent
could be
relationship.
could be key.